Hello friends, today I take up a new topic and the name of the topic is Tribe Caste Continuum in India. My lesson plan includes why is it in the news, definition of a tribe, changes in tribal society, definition of caste, difference between tribe and caste, tribe caste continuum, and finally conclusion. What is the definition of a tribe? What do you mean by tribe? I have already told you that around 8.6% of the total population is constituted by different groups of tribals. There are three groupings in India as far as tribals are concerned. Large chunk of tribals are living in the northeastern belt of India. Then in the central India, I mean Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and thirdly, in small numbers in South India. But apart from the mainland tribals, there are also tribals who are living in the Andaman Nicobar Island, and they are very much primitive tribes, still a food gatherer. So now we will define what is a tribe. According to D.N. Majumdar, a tribe is a collection of families bearing a common name, members of which occupy the same territory, speak the same dialect or the language, deserve certain taboos regarding marriage, profession or occupation, and have developed as well as a system of reciprocity and mutuality of obligations. Now we will clarify what are the special features of a tribe. Number one, common territory. They are living in the common territory. For example, tribals, Mundas are living in the territory of Jharkhand in a specified area of Jharkhand. Similarly, Santals. So, for Murias, they are living in Bastar areas. So, there is a common territory which is inhabited by a tribal group. Secondly, tribals are collection of families. Next, they bear common name. And then common language, they speak common language or dialect. They have got common religion. Most of the tribals in earlier times were animist, did not believe in God. Common culture, they bear a common culture. They have a particular way of living. Common political organization, they have got a separate political organization apart from the constitutional provision. For example, every tribal group has got a panchayat system which is headed by a pradhan, and all members attend meeting of that tribal panchayat. Any mistakes committed by a member of tribal group is settled by this tribal panchayat, which is headed by a tribal panchayat. There is a feeling of unity and also secrecy among tribals, and that's why it becomes very much difficult to penetrate deep into the inner mechanism of tribal society, and it becomes very difficult to trace out any burglary, any theft in tribal areas because of the feeling of unity and secrecy, because tribals would not divulge any secret before outsiders. Again, common economic organizations. As you know that in earlier times 91% of the tribals were engaged in agriculture. Now their economic organization has now been diversified. That we will discuss later on. Organization of clans. Friends, as you know that every tribe is composed of different clans, and they think that they are the descendants of the same ancestors, human or animal or divine, that these clans are exogamous. They can't, clans The members of the same clan can't marry. among themselves. However, tribes are endogamous. Now, prevalence of dormitories. Dormitories are a kind of social institutions whereby those girls and boys are taught sexual lessons before they get married. So we find the institution of dormitories in Maria and Muria tribes of Bastar. Simplicity and self-sufficiency. Earlier, tribal groups happened to be very much simple. Their necessities were very much minimum and they led the life of self-sufficiency. Now, this principle of simplicity and self-sufficiency is not to be found. Homogeneous group. Tribals are thought to be very much homogeneous and they are endogamous groups because tribals marry among themselves. Their clans are exogamous, but a particular tribe is always endogamous. So these are the important traits of a tribal in our country. Now, changes in tribal society. What changes occur in tribal society over the period of time? Number one, on account of industrialization, urbanization, spread of education, welfare measures taken by government, genesis of tribal elites, migration, politicization because of regular election, following changes have taken place. Number one, vanishing homogeneity of Indian tribes and origin of tribal social stratification like in caste of India. Tribals taking to non-agricultural activities. Friends, I have already told you that earlier 91% of tribals were engaged in agricultural activities. Now they switched over to different kind of occupations. They are now industrial workers, government employees, government officers. They are working in quarries. So what you see, tribals going to urban areas in search of employment, migrations are taking place because in search of employment and because of displacement, because most of the areas inhabited by them, now those areas are being mined, those areas are being developed for big dams, and so it resulted into large scale displacement of tribals from their original home to another place. Now tribals are no longer restricted to hills, mountains or forest. They have settled in different part of the country, even urban cities, and I have already told you that more than 1 crore tribals are living now in urban centers of the country. And so, as we are impacted by the different environmental problems like pollution, like cancer, AIDS, malaria, so tribals are also affected by these international, worldwide problems. Now I switch over to definition of caste. Friends, as you know that caste, village, joint family system, these three important components are the important feature of Hindu society. So what you see that according to Herbert Risley, caste is a collection of families bearing a common name, claiming a common descent from a mythical ancestor, divine or human, professing to follow the same hereditary profession or calling, and forming a single homogeneous community. This is the definition given by Herbert Risley. A special feature of caste. I would like to give you a special feature because this will clarify as to what caste means. So, a hierarchical division of society, a caste always presupposes hierarchical society where there is a pyramidal structure where at the top is Brahmin and at the bottom is untouchables. So, a hierarchical division of society. Secondly, a status of an individual is determined by his birth and not by selection and not by his accomplishment. Again, members are forbidden to marry outside his caste. Restrictions on feeding and social intercourse restrictions on occupational choice. A particular caste is assigned a particular occupation. For example, goldsmith was assigned to work on ornaments, for making ornaments of gold. So civil and religious disabilities for untouchables, and special privileges to high or twice born Varnas like Brahmin and Kshatriyas. I switch over to another point. What is difference between tribe and caste? Friends, you will know that most of the differences now have been mitigated with the passage of time because of the modernization, because of the transport and communication. However, I would like to differentiate between caste and tribe. So, a tribe is a group of local communities living in a common area or territory, speak a common dialect or language, and follow a common culture. But a caste is an endogamous group with a definite ritual status and some occupation traditionally linked to it. For example, a Brahmin caste was assigned to read and teach, to do sacrifices or yagya, and to get sacrifices for his patrons, I mean kings, and to take alms, I mean to beg for their sustenance and to give alms to needy. So there were 6 functions assigned to Brahmana. Similarly, Kshatriyas were assigned to protect their land, their territory, their kingdom, their people. So you see that the traditionally hereditary occupation, now this position has now completely changed. Territorial basis, tribals normally lives in a fixed territory according to traditional definition and geographically isolated areas in hilly mountainous terrains, while caste lives in villages, towns and cities in the plain areas. Religion of tribals are mostly animism. That means not believing in any god or goddess, or totemism, that worshipping a particular totem like tortoise, a bird, or any animal that may be a totem for them. So totemism, and while the caste worship Hindu god goddesses, ritualism forms a part of religion for caste. Tribes have their own dialect, but caste do not have such a specific dialect. There is a greater consciousness of difference in status and rank in caste than in tribal society. Tribal society in most cases are egalitarian. It means based upon equality. But caste always presupposes a status, a rank. Higher the caste, higher the privileges, higher the rank. So caste is based upon stratification, while for tribes there is no such consciousness of status and rank in tribal society. It is based upon the principle of egalitarianism. Each caste is assigned a particular hereditary occupation. For example, Vaishyas were assigned the job of cultivation of land, to do business, to engage themselves in commerce. Now for tribals, there is no hard and fast rule for tribals. They can choose any occupation they like in the tribal society. Now I switch over to another point, that is called tribe caste continuum. Friends, as you know that difference between tribe and caste is getting reduced. I am citing one example, and you will find that how tribes have been converted in caste in the course of our history. For example, Maharaja Jaswant Singh, he was the king of Jodhpur during the period of Emperor Aurangzeb, and he had been assigned 7,000 mansabs. Mansab was equivalent to the rank, and he was the highest ranking officer in the Mughal court. He led war for Mughals in different areas, like in north, western areas, even in Kandahar, even Kabul. But his ancestors were tribals. With the course of time, he became converted to Rajput. So, in our history, tribes were converted to caste. Most of the Brahmanas converted tribals into caste. The warring tribes were converted into Rajput caste, while those low-level tribals were converted into Sudras for agricultural activities. So, what you see, the difference between tribe and caste is getting reduced. Some tribes are getting converted into caste. Constant interaction and constant contact between caste and tribe led to adaptation of socio-cultural features from each other. And so, in order to become a caste, a tribe has to go through Sanskritization process. He will have to imitate the style of living of Hindu caste. This is called Sanskritization process. And secondly, Hinduization, and then get into the Hindu religion fold. So, this is the graph where you can see that how sacred company, the great tradition, goes to little tradition, tribe and peasant. Similarly, the little tradition, tribe and peasant, then peasantization goes through peasantization and Sanskritization. So what you see that universalization and parochialization both go simultaneously. But in our history, most of the cases are from tribe to caste conversion. In a few cases, some caste has also been converted into tribe. But they are few instances in our country. Now, if a caste has to be converted into tribe, it will have to go through the process of de-peasantization and de-Sanskritization. The caste will be converted to tribe, but while tribe has to be converted to caste by way of Sanskritization, by way of peasantization. So, tribe-caste continuum is a regular feature in our society. Diffusion of cultural traits and constant interaction establish the tribe-caste continuum, and which is still going on. Now, for example, in northern state like Uttarakhand, what do you find? There is a tribe like Bhotia or Khas. Now, with the passage of time, they call themselves as Rajputs, and they imitate styles of Rajputs in their way of living. So tribes may become a part of the caste system gradually by imitating the lifestyle of the caste people. Conclusion: because of the massive social change, tribes too have experienced vast transformation. They are in close contact with the modern world. Some have become modernized, many others are becoming westernized. The subsistence economy of tribals has taken to a capitalistic economy. Most of the tribals have become now rich, and there started the process of stratification among tribals themselves. Why? Because of the reservation policy of the government, because of the spread of education. A few tribals has gone to the high-ranking officers in the government of India. A new class of elites have developed in tribal society, and this led to the stratification of tribal society like caste in Hindu society. Because of the migration, transport and communication, tribals have come closer to the wider society. Thus, Supreme Court is right that only affinity test cannot be the sole criteria to adjudge person as a tribe, because with the passage of the time, many tribal traits have undergone transformation. In case of dispute regarding identity of a tribal, a genetic test along with an affinity test is required. So, in addition to affinity test, other important method of testing must be evolved to identify whether a person is a tribal or not a tribal. We can't deny a person to be a tribal only on the basis that he has relinquished the mode of marriage or the method of burial that had been practiced earlier time among the tribal society. So, because of the changes occurring in our country, in our society, no groups are immune from changes. So now you see that the entire world has become a global village. So tribals cannot be immune from these far-reaching changes. So friends, now I am winding up my lecture. If you like this lecture, this topic, please share and subscribe my channel AJIS Academy Indore. Thank you very much.